How you all doing today? This is Elvin Israel, the trucker preterist, and I'm just here to go over some more scriptures with you. Hopefully you all listen in, and I hope that maybe I say something to reach your heart. But what I want to go through first, before I even go through that, once again, I'm going to be out of the new, hold on, let me see, the new Revised Standard Version with the Apocrypha. It only cost me like $6-7 in City Trend, so I know it ain't the KJV, man, but it had the Apocrypha and stuff in it, and it was cheap, so I had to jump on it. But first of all, I just want to touch on one of the topics I touched on yesterday, which was Babylon and Jeremiah was not America. Babylon and Jeremiah was actual Babylon who sacked Israel. So now, I'm just going to go through, and I didn't create this Bible, okay? I didn't create none of the things. I didn't have none wording. But let me just show you real fast. Jeremiah 46, talk about the judgment on Egypt. Now this is, what's up, brother? This is literal Egypt. Right here, it got talking about Babylon. Look, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. I don't know how we can, and this is actually who all Babylon was sieging and sacking. So I don't know how we're going to, sorry, y'all, I guess I'm running out of data because it cut off. But like I was saying, I don't know how you're going to be able to get America when it says specifically King Nebuchadnezzar. But as you keep going on, you have the judgment on the Philistines. You got the judgment on Moab. You got the judgment on the, Ammonites. You got the judgment on Edom. The judgment on Damascus. The judgment on Kedar and Hazar. The judgment on Elam. So now when you get the judgment of Babylon, all of a sudden it's America. Everything else is places located in the Eastern world. Now when you get to chapter 50 in Jeremiah, then suddenly we want to tell people that the narrative changed to America. First of all, Mystery Babylon is not America, first of all. Second of all, this is not talking about Mystery Babylon. This is talking about literal Babylon. So you can't take nothing out of literal Babylon and try to make it mystery. So this is literal Babylon, who was the literal Chaldeans, which was the Babylonians. Okay, y'all? So Jeremiah 50 is talking about Babylon. And no, it's not going to be jumping back and forth from Babylon to America. Babylon to America. First of all, that would be so confusing to the audience that was reading this letter or reading this scroll. Second of all, that don't make sense and that never happens nowhere. So now we're just going to make it happen here in order to fit our doctrine. Let's quit. Leave the Bible. Let the Bible teach what it teaches. So now, hopefully we clear that up. Okay? Jeremiah 50. All of this in Jeremiah is about Babylon. Literal Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar. That Babylon. Not no other type of Babylon where people want to run to and talk about space shuttles and all that stuff. That's not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches nothing about America. So now, hopefully we can get that out of the way in order so we can quit adding to this word so we can understand what mindset we should have and what we should live in instead of false hope and all this stuff. So now, I want to show everybody, because I usually say that the end of the world, or the world of Israel, or the end of the age, or the Bible teaches up until the fourth beast, and then when the fourth beast comes around, the Bible ends in the middle of the fourth beast. The Bible ends and Judgment Day happens and the new kingdom of heaven is brought on earth. The Bible only teaches us up to the fourth empire, which is the Roman Empire. Nothing in the Bible is going to be about us today in America. That includes the curses that people want to put us under and keep talking about. And then the way I can go to show that is Daniel 7. You have, you see the judgment of the Ancient One. Look at that, right? Where are we at? Give me something. I should have highlighted it. Verse 7. After this I saw in the visions by night a fourth beast. This is Rome. Terrifying and dreadful. So now let's see. This judgment. I like how they got this label. Now this judgment before the Most High is occurring during the fourth beast, which is Rome. So we got that. And then during the fourth beast, we have the court set in judgment. The books were open. So we have all of the judgment of the dead as well as Jerusalem. So we have the judgment right there. Then we have Christ. Look, I saw one like a human being, and that's the Son of Man, coming in clouds in heaven. And he came into the Ancient One and was presented before him. To him was given dominion and glory and kinship, and all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that shall not pass away, and his kingship is one that shall never be destroyed. So now, we got Christ getting the kingdom during the fourth beast, which is during Rome. So now, I wanted to catch us up because some of my people like using the Apocrypha. So now, I'm in 2nd Ezra. This is the vision dealing with the eagle. 2nd Ezra 11. And now, once we go to 39, because this is the lion, I believe, talking to the eagle. But we're just going to start reading. Are you not the one that remains of the four beasts that I have made to reign in my world, so that the end of my times might come through them? See, the Most High just said, those four beasts that were saw in Daniel, he created them to reign in his world, or in his age, during the time that he had set up. But look, he wanted the end of the times to come through the four beasts. Those four beasts in Daniel is a timeline getting you to the new kingdom, or getting you to New Jerusalem, the kingdom of heaven coming on earth, and the Most High and Christ tabernacling with man. That was the whole point behind the four beasts. That's what the Bible teaches, and we're seeing it right here. I'm not making it up. It's right here. He wanted those four beasts to reign in his world, so that the end of the ages, the end of that age of Moses, the age of sin, will come about. So now, might come through them. So now, the Most High has looked at his times. Now they have ended, and his ages have reached completion. Therefore, you eagle will surely disappear, you and your terrifying wings, your most evil little wings, your malicious head, your most evil talons, and your whole worthless body, so that the whole earth, free from your violence, may be refreshed and relieved, and may hope for judgment and mercy of him who made it. While the lion was saying these words to the eagle, I looked up and saw the remaining head had disappeared. So now, this eagle, which was Rome, this eagle was Rome, and the Most High was a representation of a dialogue between the Most High and Rome. So the Most High is telling Rome that the ages, all the times, have ended during Rome's rulership. All the time has ended, and the ages have reached completion. All ages up until that time has been completed. Once again, during the Roman Empire, the Bible itself, the prophecy sealed up, the vision sealed up. No more prophets, no more prophecies, no more curses, no more any of that stuff. It's all gone. And this was to occur during the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is no longer ruling, folks. So, the curses that you are under are mental curses. We live in a world right now, the kingdom age, the Christian age, David's age, however you want to label it. We live in the age of perfection under the Son, under the Father. So we have people inside the kingdom and we have people outside of the kingdom. And we interact. Those two worlds interact. The people outside of the kingdom, the wicked people, and the people inside of the kingdom, the saints. They all interact with each other daily. So we are seeing what happens when wicked people interact with godly people. So you're not under curses. You're under a system outside of the kingdom of heaven. That's all it is. It's not curses of Moses and none of that. You are supposed to be kings and priests. How could the Most High die for cursed people and they still be cursed after the blood was spilled? How can you go through baptism, come up from the baptism, and still be cursed? It's impossible. That curse is a mental curse. But I'm just here to show you that everything ended with the Roman Empire. And then guess what? Since Rome did evil against God's people, guess what? Rome had a judgment coming also. The Bible let it be known in Daniel, and then also let it be known here that Rome was to be judged also. But that's outside of the parameters of the scriptural information dealing with what the Bible is teaching. So now, since we're in Second Esdras, and also I got another one, Second Esdras 14 and 11. And I want to start at 9. For you shall be taken up from among mankind, this was Esdras, and henceforth you shall live with my son, and with those who are like you, until the times are ended. See, at this time, supposedly, because I don't say that the Apocrypha is canonical. I'm saying that it had 3 different authors that wrote it at 3 different time periods, but they understood the Jewish mindset, and this work came from the Jewish mindset. So this is how the Jews thought of the time. So now we got Ezra. Once it was said, once he died, he would go live with the Son and with those like him, all of the saints like him. So no, he wasn't going into the heavenly realm. At this point, they were still in Sheol, or Hades, however you want to say it. So, but let's see what was told to Ezra. He's going to be with them until the times are ended. Look, the age has lost its youth, and the times begin to grow old. So it's letting it be known that during the times, even when Ezra walked the earth, the ages was coming to an end. For the age is divided into 12 parts, and 9 parts of it have already passed, as well as half of the 10th part. So while Ezra was on the earth, 9.5 parts of the age has already passed. It was only 2.5 parts left. So between Ezra and now, it has been probably over 8 or 9 parts if you do the mathematics behind it. But We don't even have to go that deep. Just look at what it says. Doing when Ezra was on the earth, the parts was already at 9.5. It's only had 2.5 parts left. And you better believe those 2.5 parts came during the Roman Empire, during the Rome rulership, during the fourth beast. But now, therefore, set your house in order and reprove your people. Comfort the lowly among them and instruct those that are wise. So now, you see it right here. Once again, 2nd Ezra 14 and 9. For you shall be taken up from among humankind, and henceforth you shall live with my son, and with those are like you, until the times are ended. The age has lost its youth, and time begin to grow old. So now he's talking about the age being divided into 12 parts. Once you go to Matthew 24, you see they got it right there. When they're talking about the destruction of the temple, verse 3, when he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? 2nd Ezra, you have it right here. The age is divided into 12 parts. Everyone knew this from the Hebrew mindset. So now they're asking, when will the age end? We are at the 12th part. So now, when will the age end? Because we are at part number 12. So now, Christ go through and give them all of the signs to look for, dealing with the end of the age. And guess what? He let it be known that this was going to occur during their generation. They knew that they was at the end of the age. But the thing was, they didn't know exactly when the age was going to end. They didn't know the exact time. They needed a better time. And also, I want to go to Ezra 2 and 42. This is what Ezra saw. This is what's going on during 70 AD. This is what Revelation is also about. And we just read that the end of the times would come during the fourth beast. So this is what was occurring during the rulership of the fourth beast when the temple was being destroyed. Verse 42. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great multitude. And remember, this is the exact same thing that we see in Revelation. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great multitude that I could not number. And they all were praising the Lord with songs. Remember? They will sing a song that no one knows besides them. And in their midst was a young man of great stature, taller than any of the others. And on the head of each of them, he placed a crown. He placed a crown on their heads. Once you go into Revelation 1 and let's see here. I'm gonna have to find it. Let me get it out of the King James Version Bible. It's worded a little different there. Let me get it out of the King James Version Bible. This is the King James Version. So now, Revelation 1 and 6. And hath made us kings and priests unto God his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. That's the dominion forever that was spoken of in Daniel. Remember that dominion was happening during Judgment Day. After Judgment Day, dominion was given to the Son to reign forever and ever. So this is during Judgment Day. That dominion, that glory. Behold, he comes with clouds. What did it say? He's going to come with a cloud. They saw the Son of Man coming in clouds, and he was presented to the Most High. The Most High gave him the rulership of the whole entire world. He is that mountain cut out without hands. That's his kingdom. But now we see at this time, during the first century, while John was on the Isle of Patmos, he was already considered a king and a priest. So they was already kings and priests on the earth. They was already reigning with Christ on earth. They were already reigning with Christ on earth. They were already the kings and priests reigning with Christ on earth in the first century. So what do you think is happening 20 centuries later? You think that he stopped the kings and us being kings and priests reigning with him? Or did we teach ourselves outside of the kingdom? But I digress. Let me keep going. So now we see right here that he's placing crowns on people's heads. He's taller in stature than all of them. Why? Because dominion is exalting Christ above all. He's the king. He's the one that's handing out gifts and rewards. His statue is above all. The Egyptians used to do the same thing when they painted those hieroglyphs and all of those old structures. They will always have the king being a giant and everybody else being smaller or normal size. It was just showing how in subject they were to him. So this is what we're seeing here. But look, but he was more exalted, and it said it right there. But he was more exalted than they, and I was held spellbound. Then I asked an angel, "Who are these, my Lord?" He answered and said to me, "These are they who have put off mortal clothing and have put on the immortal." These are the people who have went through resurrection. See, there's two resurrections. That's the resurrection on earth, in the earthly realm, and then there was the resurrection in the spiritual realm. So, these are the people. Once again, remember, these people right here they was getting crowns then. And we see in Revelation that the crowns were already, with their dominion. They were already given. They was already considered priests and kings, which means they have already received their crowns. Here, he's giving out crowns. So, I am saying that this is a vision of what's going on dealing with the gospel. This is not dead people. This is what's going on dealing with the gospel. This is a vision behind the gospel being spread amongst the planet or amongst the earth, or amongst that world, however you want to phrase it. So now, who are these, my Lord? He answered and said, "These are they who have put off mortal clothing and have put on immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now they are being crowned and receive palms." Go to Revelation, which this is all... Let's see if I got it. I might not have it in this Bible. As you can tell, I have tore it up. This Bible needs a revamping, man. Yes, sir. It needs a revamping indeed. So let's go. Where are we at? Revelation 7 and 9. After this is after the 144,000 right here. This is before the destruction of the temple is occurring. This is while Israel is still being sealed through the gospel. And look, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. We see it right here that there were many people. a multitude of people standing before him, and he was giving out palms. So now, what's going on with these palms? Let's see if I can find it real fast. Let's see if I can find it real fast. It's the Feast of Trumpet. Where's my Feast of Tabernacles at? Because that's what it is. Feast of Tabernacles. Where's it at? I'm at the Feast of Trumpets right here. It should be Sunday, Sabbath day. I see it right here, but I'm trying to find the palms dealing with the Feast of Tabernacles. And offer during the Sabbath, all your vows are free will offers on the Sunday. Here you go right here. Speak to the children of Israel, Leviticus 23. Speaking to the children of Israel, say, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles, for 7 days unto the Lord. And also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruits of the land, see once again, 15th day of the 7th month, this is the same day, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, the willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. This was a shadow of the Most High coming down to tabernacle with man. And what did they have? They had the palm trees. What was given in what did they have in Revelation? Showing that this is feast day language. This deals with the feast days of the Most High getting ready to tabernacle with man. They had palms in their hands. What was going on in 2nd Ezra? They was being handed palms in their hand. This is the Feast of Tabernacle. This is what it stood for. They was tabernacling with Christ in the Most High. And how was they doing it? Through the gospel. Being crowned and receive palms. Then I said to the angel, who is that young man who is placing crowns on them and putting palms in their hands? And he answered and said to me, he is the Son of God whom they confessed in the world. You could confess me in front of your friends, I will confess you in front of my fathers. Do not confess me in front of your friends, I will not confess you in front of my Father. I'm paraphrasing. But we see what was going on in Ezra. These were people getting the gospel being spreaded. This is all vision. This is symbolic for the gospel being spreaded. So, where can we go from there? Where else do we want to go from there? Oh yeah, all right, now, what was also going on dealing with Christ in the 1st century? I think we have also forgot that the reason, you remember they asked John the Baptist, was he the Messiah? Now, why would they ask John the Baptist, was he the Messiah? Because a few things had occurred. The first thing that occurred was they realized that this was the Roman Empire was ruling, so they knew that the Messiah had to come sometime during the rulership of the Roman Empire. And let me show you another reason. Let's see if I can find it right here. I'm going to take this to Matthew. Matthew 2:1. In the time of King Herod. No, we're not going to go there. Matthew 1 and... Yes, it's 2:1, sorry. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising, and we have come to pay his homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, and from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." So, in a nutshell, Jerusalem knew that the Messiah had been born. At that time, Jerusalem knew that the Messiah had been born. So they was able to ask John the Baptist, was he the Messiah? With the way he presented himself and the way he carried himself. But you better believe that those scribes and Pharisees and Sadducees knew that the Messiah had been born. The problem was he didn't come like they thought he was going to come. They thought that he was going to come and take Israel and put them on a pedestal and do away with the Roman rulership, as what Daniel actually says. They thought that he was going to do all of this stuff physically. They didn't understand that this was more spiritual. But they kind of overlooked it because they didn't see the shift in political of movement toward Israel. So instead, they made themselves stay in cahoots with Rome in order to get that power, so they could have that sense of power. And that's what happened. They felt that Christ threatened that sense of power. They was like, he's the son of Joseph. He can't be the Messiah. You know, we done seen this guy grow up. He was a carpenter. Come on, man, that ain't the Messiah. He knows some of the. He's very diverse, and he knows the Torah great. But come on, this is the son of the carpenter. He's not the Messiah. Now that John the Baptist guy, he could be the Messiah. But they knew that the Messiah was around during that time. They just couldn't put a spot on who exactly he was. And when Christ came the way he came, they was like, no, he couldn't be the Messiah. But I get off that. I diverse. That's not too much more that I can hit on. I was showing that for a recap, that everyone knew that the time was going to end during the Roman Empire, and then the Bible teaches that the kingdom of heaven came down to earth during that same empire, and that we are not a cursed people. We are inhabitants of the kingdom of heaven. All we got to do is reach out and grab it. That's all we got to do. So, no, we're not cursed. The Bible teaches what it teaches. The age has come to an end. We are in the new age. We are in the kingdom age. Look out there. That's America. That's not Rome. Okay? That's not Rome rulership. This is America. And we fall under the rulership of people, but it's not Rome. Now, does the Roman Catholic Church have false power? Yes, the Roman Catholic Church does. But in the Bible, Rome itself ruled. Rome had Caesars, not the Pope. Rome had Caesars that had a succession. It had successors. That's not what we have today, folks. And that's not what the Bible teaches. So, I hope we're able to believe what the Bible teaches and keep pushing forward. I'd like to say shalom, and if something hits me later on, I will be back. Thank you for everybody that listened in. I ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, AOSD Chandler. It's AOSD Chandler. My mentor's channel, All Things Fulfilled. Once again, it's All Things Fulfilled, Mr. William Bell. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I know the things that I bring out is diverse, but it's not. The Bible isn't meant for your enjoyment if you're off. Now, if you're on and if you believe scriptures and all this stuff, you will enjoy the Bible. But if you're off, the Bible is not created for you. You know, it's not. The Bible itself is not a respecter of person. It's not a respecter of man. And me personally, you know, I got Israel behind my name, so through going through the secular history, it's no doubt that I could be an Israelite. No doubt. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's all about the kingdom now. It's all about Christ. It's all about the Father. Baptized. Be baptized. Be baptized to Christ. Take that death that he took. Be resurrected like he was resurrected. So sin can no longer have, so death can no longer have rule over you. And if death don't have rule over you, then sin can't have rule over you. We are baptized. If you go baptized, you get baptized for the remission of sins. Believing on Christ. Believing on his cross. Then you go down and you die, just like Christ died. Just like Christ went down into that earth for 3 days, you symbolically go down with him. And just like Christ was resurrected on that third day, defeating death, defeating sin, you yourself will be resurrected, defeating death and defeating sin. Sin will have no more rulership over you. Death will no longer reign over your life. You will no longer feel that you are cursed, no matter how bad this earth is, no matter how bad things get. Now, will you get sad a little bit? Yes, you will. Will you get discouraged a little bit? Yes, you will. But once you remember, you have the victory, you have a mediator, you have a lawyer on your side, you have defeated sin, you have defeated death. The only thing Satan can do is use other people around, just like Job. Just like Job. That's why the story of Job is so important today. When the Most High, when Satan was able to tempt and afflict Job, Satan used people around him in order to afflict him. He used his health, and able to afflict him. But he could do nothing with his spirit. He could do nothing at all with what was on the inside of Job. You got to surround yourself with like-minded people. You got to. You got to keep the Most High. You got to keep from his name in your thought. You got to pray constantly. You got to pray daily. You got to keep that union with the Father. You got to believe on the Christ of cross. I said the Christ of cross. The cross of Christ, excuse me. And just let things happen. I like to say a good shalom. You can come study with us. We study that all things have been fulfilled. The whole Bible is complete. We are in the kingdom of heaven age. And we will walk you through the scriptures to show you that that's true, without adding any ideology, without adding any America or China. We keep the Bible in its historical context. We look at the audience that the Bible was actually written to, instead of us because the Bible wasn't written, it wasn't speaking on us, it was speaking on the audience then. We read it to understand the history behind this kingdom of heaven of ours. So, we teach all of these things in details. We go inside of the Greek language. We go inside some of the Greek, some of the Hebrew, in order to give a better clarification of what the scriptures is actually teaching. See, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just hear these doctrines from these people that don't understand the Bible, and they parakeet it, and then they tweak it a little bit, but it's still the same foundation of false doctrine. So when somebody like me or a few of the brothers come in and tell people exactly what the Bible teaches, it causes confusion. It causes that they display the characteristics of not being inside of the kingdom. And I've seen it so many times. People really, when I even go out to talk, so-called debate these people, I usually have nobody in my corner, which I don't care. That's fine, man. This is the work of the Most High. But it shows me how lost our people are right now. So I ask you all to crack open that Bible and read it and let the word stand for what it says. Come learn with us. Come join us. Get other people to come join in with us. Come learn with us so we can expand the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven, so we can do this thing right, so we can give the Most High something to work with. We want the blessings, but we don't want to do what he say. We want the blessings, but we want to misrepresent his word. We want to misrepresent his authority. We want to misrepresent his son, but we want the blessings for him. We got to do better, y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I hope y'all listen to this over and over again. Share it on your Facebook. Join my YouTube channel, and let's keep pushing. Shalom.